What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Zach Costello Show. If you guys could please, before we get started, just hit that like button on your way in. Go ahead and make sure that you are subscribed also. Double check. If you have subscribed, double check for me. Make sure that you still are. I'd appreciate that. What I am going to take you guys through today is a pattern that has emerged from the evidence that has been made public so far from the first 2 days of this Tyler Robinson preliminary hearing, which I believe makes it very clear that Tyler Robinson did not act alone on that day of September 10th at UVU. You see the names like Brandon Tatum, Andrew Colvett, Blake Neff, and we're going to get to Blake Neff today, given his shenanigans last night. We'll get to that. Donald Trump Jr. and all of these media and social media shills that are talking about how this is a cut and dry case. Tyler Robinson is obviously guilty after they were in the courtroom and they've seen all of this evidence, this massive mountain of evidence against Tyler Robinson. Here is what I will grant. Tyler Robinson was clearly involved. He was involved. I think that's pretty cut and dry, if anything. But is Tyler Robinson clearly guilty of pulling the trigger on his grandfather's .30-06 rifle and assassinating Charlie Kirk? I don't think the evidence makes that clear at all. The evidence makes clear that Tyler was involved, but he was not working alone. I think the evidence makes it clear Tyler Robinson was not working alone, and we are going to get to that specific and hard evidence today. I also mentioned Blake Neff and his shenanigans because last night he went on an X space hosted by Louisiana girl, parentheses, Tara. Excuse me. Got to give credit to the X account who hosted the X space. Louisiana girl, parentheses, Tara. I had multiple people message me. Zach, you got to check out. You got to check out this X space. Blake Neff is taking questions. He's losing his mind. He's going off. All sorts of stuff. Go and check out the X space. So I did. And there are a few key moments that we need to talk about. And I'm going to share with you guys my favorite part, which includes Blake Bednar's asking Blake Neff about his Judas Harpole video. This part is truly hilarious and it's entertaining. But there are also some interesting answers that Blake Neff gave as it relates to this overall investigation. But first, Candace Owens unleashed on Ben Shapiro after Ben, in his own words, on his own pre-recorded show, dropped this stunning admission about what happened in the immediate aftermath of Charlie being shot, the event occurring around Charlie, whatever you want to call it. So I want you guys to take a listen to this. We'll start here.
I remember where I was when all this was happening. I was in Los Angeles. I had sort of a breakfast/lunch meeting with somebody. And I got the news that Charlie had been shot, and my security was on the phone with Charlie's security because nobody knew what the hell was going on. Well, Charlie was still in the back of the car, and we were sort of getting updates along the way. At 2:40 p.m.
So as Charlie was being transported to the hospital in the car, Charlie Kirk's security team was calling Ben Shapiro's security team to keep them updated about what was going on. Candace Owens blew this up, writing, "Breaking news. Ben Shapiro just confessed on his show that while Charlie was being transported to the hospital and bleeding out to death, his security was on the phone with Charlie's security receiving updates. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Someone explained to me why, during the minutes while Charlie was dying in the backseat of the car, Charlie's security team was providing updates to Ben Shapiro's team rather than focusing entirely on saving Charlie's life and finding the killer. I'll remind you, Brian Harpole, one of the security members who was in that car en route to the hospital, is currently suing me and using Ben Shapiro's lawyer, who has sued me relentlessly on Ben's behalf over the last 3 years. And then she goes on to say, Ben Shapiro hated Charlie and everyone knew that. So why the hell was this demon, receiving updates the mere minutes after Charlie was hit en route to the hospital? It's a great question. It's a great question. Candace goes on, who on Charlie's security team betrayed him in this way? Everything Ben did following the assassination made my alarm bells go off. I've told you there's something about the Daily Wire and their relentless stalking of me following my firing that has made me feel altogether unsafe. I have felt their obsessive focus on destroying me is deranged and incredibly dangerous. So one of the things that Candace Owens also posted on her Instagram account is she said, if anything ever happens to me, I need you to look at Jeremy Boring and Ben Shapiro and the Daily Wire first and foremost. She just published this on her Instagram. If you guys don't follow her there, you can go and check it out. But what did Andrew Colvett mean when he told me it was supposed to be you? Why did Turning Point betray Charlie so quickly by allowing Ben to open at AnFest after declaring immediately that he would pick up Charlie's bloody mic? Why didn't Ben mention this before today, that he was receiving status updates while Charlie was bleeding out? I clocked that Ben was too invested in this. His energy on stage demanding that Megyn Kelly call me evil and his overprotective stance on Erica always registered me as deeply nervous. Ben Shapiro making the claim or publishing that his security was in contact with Charlie Kirk security while they were on the way to the hospital is extremely problematic. Why in the course of that traumatic and emergency event was Charlie Kirk security on the phone with Ben Shapiro and his security team? There have been multiple moments that have come out since Charlie Kirk was assassinated about the security team and the discrepancies and irregularities, the stories that aren't adding up. Was CPR administered or not? Was Frank Turek in the backseat praying? Was he not? How much gauze or whatever the material was that they used 36 feet of to pack Charlie's wound? All of these different discrepancies that have come up after the fact. They can't get their stories straight. It's like something happened. Whatever happened in that car, why are there a bunch of different stories with regard to what happened in that car? Why, like, only one thing happened. Why are there multiple different accounts as to what happened by different people? When that happens, it makes people more suspicious. It makes people believe that the truth is not being told. Well, and now you have someone in the car who was apparently making phone calls to other people's security teams. I mean, isn't that, like, why would it be a priority in that moment to call Ben Shapiro's security team to let him know what was going on? Why is that one of the first things that goes through anybody's head? Oh, Charlie just got shot. We got to call Ben Shapiro's security team. Extremely problematic. Extremely problematic. Okay. One of the individuals who is extremely skeptical of Charlie Kirk's security team is Blake Bednarz. Blake Bednarz was one of the individuals that was on this X Space. And this was an X Space, as I told you guys at the outset, that was hosted by Louisiana girl, parentheses Tara. Props to her for hosting this. I reached out to her and told her that it was good work, what she did. Obviously, it got a little heated. I think Blake Neff ended up leaving the conversation. There were attacks flying back and forth, but I think it's important that the conversation was had, even though it might have been difficult. There might have been attacks. It might have made people uncomfortable. It's good to have these open conversations. You guys all know I absolutely stand for that. This X Space, though, was 7 hours long, a little over 7 hours. I've listened to not all of it, but a good amount of it. And there are some particularly notable moments that occurred in this X Space. My favorite of which is Blake Bednarz confronting Blake Neff on whether or not Blake Neff has seen his Judas Harpole video. And I want you guys to listen to this segment of this X Space.
That how in on this happening?
Can I ask Blakey from another Blakey? This Blakey wants to talk to that Blakey. Can this Blakey do that real quick? Hey man, just curious. Have you seen my Judas Harpole video? And I'm curious what you think of it.
I have never heard of this video, and I have no idea who you are.
What?
If I send it to you, will you watch it?
Probably not. I mean,
That's
Judas
fair.
Harpole. I mean, I know Brian Harpole, and I don't think he was a Judas, so I think that sounds like a pretty dumb video.
He's not squeezing something underneath his arm?
He's not You're going for coded messages on their arms now?
No, not coded messages, like an actual squeeze, like a squeeze, like he squeezes.
Blake Neff, let me get you up to speed. Blake Bednarz is kind of the biggest.
So this is Gary Melton then trying to fill in Blake Neff on on what Blake Bednarz has been fighting for this entire investigation. So you heard Blake's response. And now you're going to hear Gary Melton step in. And then this continues on. Blake Bednarz then listen to what Blake Bednarz ends up saying after this.
Opponent of the exploding mic theory, and he believes that there's a device underneath. Pendant. We switched to pendant. Back in December, it was a mic. We moved on to pendant, but he believes that Brian.
That shows growth.
He believes that Brian Harpole is squeezing the device underneath his arm to set off the exploding pendant.
Okay, why would you believe that when it's extremely obvious that Charlie was shot by a bullet?
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
I was there. I was there. So since I was there, I know that
Did you see it?
really loud crack happened in front of me, which was facing out towards the crowd. So the giant
Hey, Blake.
sound.
So you know
Blakey, I will. Can I offer you this?
No.
Before he makes this offer, which I want you guys to hear, Blake Neff responding to this and saying, what's more interesting to me here is the response that Blake Neff gives to Blake Bednarz. It's just so obvious that Charlie was hit by a bullet. I mean, Blake Bednar's response there, is it? Is it? It's a good question. It's a very good question. It's not obvious that Charlie was hit by a bullet. And Blake Neff's answer, his justification for that answer is, I was there. I was there. I heard the crack. That's not a very good answer.
I will donate $10,000 to Turning Point, whichever Turning Point organization that you want, or I'll do 15,000. Okay, if you will agree to do a 1 hour show where you just sit and watch me present something, would you do that?
First of all, like, I'd actually probably want you to get that shit in writing before I would even consider it.
That's fine.
Real writing. Like, get a lawyer to draft that out. Then maybe I'll think about it. 15,000 is a lot.
Okay. 15,000's a lot?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, you guys lie all the time. So, like...
No, I'm just going to show you video.
You're going to show me video?
Yeah. Will you do it? Or I'll send it to you. Deal? And I'll stop posting the ambiguously gay duo of you and Andrew. I promise.
Blake, I think what he's saying is before he would take you seriously at all, he would want to see something in writing by a lawyer official saying that you're going to donate $15,000.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
And then I think from that point, he has a decision to make.
Well, we all know the way to get these Turning Point USA guys to do what you want them to do is, hey, you make a donation. You make that donation, and the ears turn on. The ears turn on. Hey, I don't know you. Sounds like a really stupid video. Absolutely not. Like, you're dumb. You're a liar. Hey, I'll donate $15,000. Oh, get it to my lawyer. I'll consider it. Oh man, what an exchange! What an exchange! I mean, this X space, you guys, was good stuff. I mean, it was good stuff. There was I saw Trigger Smart. I see you in the chat. What's up, Matt? A cast of characters. There were certainly this X space was full of a cast of characters. One of the things I didn't have on my bingo card for this year was Myron Gaines. Actually, was a part of this X space. He was sticking up for Turning Point USA, believe it or not. So he got in on this, and he started defending Turning Point USA. That's something I certainly did not expect. But then also one of the notable points on this, and this is a good segue into the Tyler Robinson hearing. Blake Neff was asked where he was, what he was doing the morning before Charlie Kirk arrived at UVU. And Blake's response was, I don't recall. Blake's response was, I don't recall where I was the morning of the assassination. So we all know that Blake was present. He was present. He was right next to Charlie at the moment of the event at 12:23 p.m. Blake says he was there. So Blake says he knows for 100% fact that it was a gunshot because he heard it. But Blake does not know, he does not recall where he was the morning of the assassination. And why is that significant? Well, it's significant because what people are talking about with regard to what was published in the courtroom about Tyler Robinson making contact with Turning Point USA representatives the morning of the event. Blake Neff was asked in this conversation who Tyler Robinson met with from Turning Point USA, or who he communicated with, or who he had contact with the morning of the assassination event. Blake Neff responded and said, I'm not going to tell the name of that individual for privacy reasons. This means they know who it was. They know who at Turning Point USA had contact with Tyler Robinson prior to the assassination event at UVU on September 10th. I've also seen, because this has become significant, and I covered this yesterday on the show. But one of the aspects of this that I cannot get out of my head, and this just relates to what the rest of the show is going to be about today. The fact that Tyler Robinson was involved in some way, but he was absolutely not acting alone that day on September 10th at UVU. What we know is that from the courtroom and from the evidence that was given, Tyler Robinson was on campus the night of, or in Orem, the night after the assassination at about 12:30 or 12:40 a.m. And you guys might remember from yesterday, if you saw the show, that the reason they know this is because the Dodge Challenger that they say that Tyler Robinson was driving pulled into an Orem neighborhood, and they caught him on the doorbell, the Ring doorbell footage. The individuals who own this home were interviewed. Their last name is the Nobles. The Nobles were interviewed and asked about what they saw. And I'm going to play this clip from the trial to remind you guys what the Nobles saw that night when this Dodge Challenger came up and parked out front of their house. Take a listen.
Looking at that interview, does that refresh your recollection?
I remember reading the report at some point, yes.
And do you remember that the Nobles told you that the driver of the vehicle was bald?
I do remember that being in the report, yes.
And you didn't mention that today when you were talking about that Ring camera, did you?
Interesting.
I did not.
And did they also tell you there were 3 other people in the car?
Yes, I believe they thought that was the case.
Okay. Do you remember?
So I've seen basically a meme and the joke that Blake Neff, well, he's bald. Was he driving the car? I mean, shoot, if Blake Neff had contact with Tyler Robinson the morning of the assassination, maybe it's not a joke. But in all seriousness, if we have an individual who is bald and driving the Dodge Challenger that Tyler Robinson was allegedly driving, and there were 3 other people in this car, then clearly what we're talking about here is more people being involved that day at UVU than just this single individual lone wolf, Tyler Robinson. And that brings me to this. That brings me to now what we are seeing here from this evidence that has come out in trial. Allie Top Files has done some really good work going through some of this, and I'm going to bring up a couple of her posts here as we start this segment of the show to show you guys a couple important observations that have now been made after this evidence has been released to the public. Allie published here, come on, court, 2 different backpacks for 100 got some better shots. What we are seeing here is that the individual earlier in the UVU surveillance footage, dressed in the maroon that they claim to be Tyler Robinson, has a certain backpack on with certain logos on the back of it. And then you have the individual on the right, who is this individual with the limp wearing the black shirt in a different backpack. So the backpacks do not match here. Okay, so they're claiming this to be the same individual. So are we talking about this individual then changing clothes, but also changing backpacks as well? So I thought that's a pretty important observation there. We also, this was a very good post from Allie as well. What is happening here? Where is the footage from the FBI pics? Or is it edited, allegedly? Question mark. And this is very important. This is very important because that photo that you see right there on the right of the individual in the stairwell, this is that viral photo, this famous photo that the FBI put out when they were trying to identify the suspect. This is allegedly, as we're told, the photo that Tyler Robinson's parents recognized that helped them identify their son. Well, you know what Allie is pointing out here is a very, very interesting and good observation. And that's this, because this is so now we're going to start to go through this surveillance footage. But look at this surveillance footage, guys, from this moment inside the stairwell. So this is the first moment. So this is the individual dressed in maroon there, and that's where that first shot of that backpack is coming from. Okay? So that individual right there is wearing a different backpack than the second individual. We're going to get back to that moment here in a second. But then this is the individual with the limp walking through the tunnel and then up the stairs. Guys, just watch this.
We see. So this is Mr. Robinson coming up the stairs of the parking structure.
That clip from right there, I'm pausing it right there. That is the shot of this. That's that moment. That is that moment. Guys, it is not clear. The footage that we are receiving here from the UVU security footage is not as clear as the image that we are getting here. Okay, this is enhanced footage. This is enhanced footage that the FBI put together to help identify this suspect. And why is that problematic to me? It's problematic to me because we've all seen this photo as well. This photo is what people have used to further enhance this photo of the individual on the right. And why I find this so problematic is because this enhanced photo people use to say, well, this looks nothing like Tyler Robinson. My opinion is that that photo, this enhanced photo, actually looks nothing like the person in this photo, who then looks nothing like Tyler Robinson. I mean, we're going off of an edited video from this section of this video.
We see
right here.
So this is Mr. Robinson coming up the stairs of the parking.
Boom. He glances up at that individual walking down with him, and that's the footage that we get, which then they get this from. And then we get the internet giving us this one. My goodness, this is like a horrible game of telephone in image style. And I saw a comment that somebody says, like, why in the heck in this day and age is all of this security footage at like the lowest possible quality that it could possibly be? Why is Ring doorbell footage in the lowest possible quality? Why is the UVU surveillance footage in the lowest possible quality? And then you've got all of these people that are out here just like, oh, it's definitely Tyler Robinson. This is definitely Tyler Robinson on the roof.
Sure.
You can tell me that this individual walking through all of this surveillance footage here, you're going to tell me that's definitely Tyler Robinson? Oh, here's my favorite one. Here's my favorite one, because this is the footage of this part right here. That's the footage of the individual crouching down on the roof during the moment of the gunshot. That you can tell that that's definitely Tyler Robinson. That is overwhelming evidence that that is Tyler Robinson right there on the roof taking that shot and then running off of it. Come on. Come on. All right. Now I want to show you guys some very interesting, important, notable moments from this UVU surveillance video that I think shows very clearly that Tyler Robinson, or whoever this individual is, let's just say this individual, that we're being shown here is not acting alone. There are some very key and important moments that I think prove, in fact, that he's not acting alone at all. All right. So, first and foremost, we go back to what the nobles testified, that in this Dodge Challenger, that the prosecution is saying is Tyler Robinson was being driven by a bald-headed man and had 3 other people in the car. Okay, what this is creating for me, like this pattern is creating this circumstantial web of evidence showing Tyler Robinson is not acting alone. There were other people working in coordination, perhaps communicating with him in some way to ensure that this operation was going to be carried out. And that begins here. Okay? So this is the part of the footage that has this individual dressed in black, which they say is Tyler Robinson, who was originally dressed in maroon, got changed into. But this is the part of the footage which shows this individual dressed in black coming back to the stairwell with allegedly the gun in his pants, with the limp, with the gait. All right. But I want to show you guys something very interesting about this video, which was pointed out by people online. As this video starts, they're talking about this right now. That's why it's paused. They're talking about it in the courtroom. Let me get to the point where it starts. Okay. Watch carefully. Watch carefully. I'm going to play it, but we're going to have to pause it here as we go so that you guys can see what I'm talking about.
This takes just a moment.
Pause it there. You see the white SUV in the background. You see the white SUV. All right. Note the white SUV with the blacked out wheels, identifiable windows. Note the white SUV. Now, let's continue.
And why, well, let me ask you this. You believe this is Mr. Robinson returning to campus?
I do, yes.
Okay. And why do you believe it's Mr. Robinson?
The shoes are the same.
Okay. What's about to happen here is we're about to have an edited part of this video come out of it. This video, as he's talking, glitches slightly because they edited out a portion of it. Okay. It goes from the timestamp on there. If you look closely, the timestamp skips out.
The images that we have.
I think we just did it right after that.
You believe this is Mr. Robinson returning to campus?
I do, yes.
Okay. And why do you believe it's Mr. Robinson?
That right there, it skipped. It skipped. The car drives away.
Why?
The SUV.
Well, let me ask you this. You believe this is Mr. Robinson returning to campus?
I do, yes.
Okay. And why do you believe it's?
It just skipped from 153.17 to 154.34, I believe. So this moment right here, after this white SUV drives away,
and why?
The video is edited.
Well, let me ask you this. You believe this is Mr. Robinson returning to campus?
I do, yes.
Okay. And why do you believe?
You see the car disappear? You see the car disappear? And he's here. He's just standing here before he walks down, stalling. I believe there's communication taking place between this individual and one of these cars driving by.
It's Mr. Robinson.
The shoes are the same, and the images that we have.
He puts his phone, the video skips out. He puts his phone back in his pocket. You see he has his phone out there, right? And then he proceeds to walk down the tunnel with his limp. Now, also notice which leg he is limping with. Which leg has the gait? Which leg is he keeping straight? The right leg. Which he just started right there. He bent it at first, and now he's keeping it straight.
From my viewing and seeing Mr. Robinson on the video, it's the same person.
He's noticeably wearing different clothing.
He is wearing different clothing, and he also is walking with a gait or a limp in this video.
So they are the ones highlighting why the gait and the limp is important. He is keeping his right leg straight. And the reason for this, they are saying, is because he has the rifle in his pants. Now, watch what happens here. Watch what happens here right before this individual walks up the stairs. Watch what happens here.
With the gait or what?
Limp.
Okay.
He turns and looks into the garage. He turns and looks into the garage. He does not just turn and walk up the stairs. And then watch.
Now what do we see?
And now look. Now look at what he's doing. He starts to walk up the stairs. A car approaches right behind him that he turns around and looks at and makes eye contact with. If you zoom in closely, it's hard to see whether or not the tires on that car, the rims on it, match the Dodge Challenger. I'm not sure. But he clearly, before he walks up the steps, turns around, looks into the garage, then starts walking up the steps, and then turns around and makes eye contact with a car. Makes his eyes look at that car that turns behind him, and then...
This is Mr. Robinson coming up the stairs of the parking structure.
And then disappears out. And then we have him look up the steps, and that's the image that we get captured, which we're all supposed to say looks exactly like Tyler Robinson. Okay? And now watch what happens. He continues up the stairs.
Again, he seems to be having issues walking.
Right leg is the one he's keeping straight still. Right leg is the one he's keeping straight still.
And again, we're able to track Mr. Robinson when he...
Now get ready for this. Get ready for this. Watch what leg the guy starts limping with as soon as he gets up the steps.
leaves this parking structure.
Yes, we were.
The left leg. The left leg.
When he leaves this parking structure.
Yes, we were able to.
So when he leaves the...
He's keeping the left leg straight there. If there's a rifle in his pants, in his right leg, how is he going to switch and then start limping with his left leg? Guys, come on. Come on. Okay. We're not done. We're not done. Okay. Now, this is the footage of when he gets outside. The individual limping with one of his legs gets outside. All
parking
right?
structure where...
I'm going to fast forward a little bit because this is when they show him getting on the roof. This is when they show him getting on the roof. And what Agent Hull says here is that, oh, you can see Tyler Robinson up there on the roof underneath the stamp of the video, underneath the white letters of the video. How he can determine whether or not that's Tyler Robinson is pretty shocking to me. I only see a minuscule guy that I feel like you need binoculars to, that's a telescope, binoculars to see. maybe a microscope to see. But here's what's interesting. Do you guys see the timestamp on this video? Okay, the timestamp on this is 12:15 and 56 seconds. 12:17. Okay. Then in this footage, so they say that Tyler Robinson was crouched here, putting the gun together, putting the weapon together. 12:17 p.m. is when he arrives on the rooftop.
The individual actually kind of...
It cuts here, and this is 12:22. So 5 minutes of footage is also cut out of this segment of the evidence that was presented in the courtroom. Okay? This is not continuous. So some people are like, oh, well, how did he get on the roof, assemble the rifle, get to his spot, take the shot, and then off in like the span of a couple minutes? You got to look at the timestamps. They edited out some of that. They edited out 5 minutes here. Okay, so he was on the roof for 5 minutes, sitting there before he got to this point, which is then when he goes into the perch that they're saying that he went into on the Losi Center roof. Okay, so if you look closely, you can see in the top left corner, you see the individual running to the spot. This is when he crouches down. This is 12:22 and 37. Okay. 12:23 is what we just passed right there. Okay. And 12:23 is the hour and minute that Charlie was assassinated. Now, I want you to watch what happens here. And this is why I believe, like, we're talking about larger coordination. We're talking about communication taking place. 12:23, Hunter Kozak asked the question about transgender violence. Charlie Kirk is assassinated. And then this individual rises from his perch and runs off and starts to run off the roof. Look what vehicle enters the parking lot. Look what vehicle enters the parking lot there. White SUV, black rims. Loops the corner. And just as Tyler Robinson, or the individual, alleged Tyler Robinson, is jumping off the roof and walking along the grass, you see him right there. The car is now right next to that individual. The car is now right next to the individual about to cross the street. They're right here. They're right near each other. White SUV comes back into the same parking lot that it was in no more than 15 or so minutes ago as the individual was about to walk into the tunnel, now circles back here and intercepts the individual running off the roof. Now, that in coordination with more and further car coordination that we observed very early on in this investigation. I'm going to take you guys back to one of my pre-record days, which I want to say was probably around the November timeframe. I think it was the November timeframe when I did this video. But do you guys remember Ryan Mata from X, who put out the video of the Dodge Challenger entering into a parking lot and sitting there and then coordinating with another white SUV? I want you guys to watch this segment of this video. Take a listen. First, Ryan Mata, to his credit, published this parking lot video on X on October 2nd. Watch as Tyler Robinson's alleged Dodge Charger pulls into the parking lot. The police pulled this footage because Robinson's cell phone pinged from this location. Watch what happens. Robinson stops and waits. Now, watch what happens. This white car pulls out of its parking space and turns away from Robinson's car. Then wait. This white car then pulls back up behind the Dodge Charger. And once it does so, the Dodge Charger pulls out and begins to drive away. Now, that's not all. I noticed something else. Let's rewind it. Pay attention to this car pulling into the parking lot before Robinson and the white car pull away. This gray SUV right here in the top right corner. You see that? It stops. It pulls in and stops. And once Robinson and the other car start moving, it then pulls away. This SUV looks just like the same gray SUV from this video of the alleged assassin walking along the sidewalk before he makes the turn to UVU. Remember this? Watch. He is walking down the sidewalk and gets down to the corner. He pauses and waits. And then this gray SUV pulls over close. It slows down as it drives by this corner, and then you can see the car pull back into the road. I put these side by side each other and then went back and rewinded again and again. This looks like the same car. The same car that pulls close to the alleged assassin walking on the sidewalk. Just one encounter. Okay, might be a coincidence, but a second time, and with the other white car pulling out to the left, coming back, pulling right behind Robinson, and then they start moving. The gray SUV moves when the other two cars start moving. This just all connects to a larger operation that took place on that day of September 10th. Well said, Mr. Zach. But I think what you guys can all see, and one of the things that I want to make clear, it looks like the white SUV in that parking lot is not the same SUV as was near that individual before and after the individual gets on the roof and he gets off the roof. That first white SUV had blacked out rims. The second one in the parking lot had obviously lighter rims. It did not have a sunroof. Okay. I'm not saying that that's the same SUV. What I'm saying is that there are multiple vehicles here that seem to be working in coordination with individuals that were involved in whatever operation was going on that day. That's the claim that I'm making. That claim is then supported by, again, you have that darker SUV that pulls up close, that does that side-by drive of the individual walking on the streets. You've got the other white SUV that pulls up right behind the Dodge Challenger in a parking lot. They drive out together. You've got the white SUV driving around the parking lot twice, it looks like, nearby the individual that before goes into the tunnel and then after jumps off the roof. And then you have eyewitness statements that the prosecution brought forth from Ring doorbell footage of the Dodge Challenger in the neighborhood the night after, saying that there was a bald man driving the car and there were 3 other people in the vehicle. My claim here is that it is looking very clear that these individuals were not working alone that day at Utah Valley University when Charlie Kirk was killed. I think it totally reasonable to be posing and asking the question, if Tyler Robinson was involved in some way, fine. I accept that. I think that Tyler Robinson was involved in some way. Do I believe that Tyler Robinson himself is the one that pulled the trigger from that Low C Center rooftop? I am certainly skeptical about that narrative, as I've been talking about here for months now. But I think what is very clear is that this is more than just a single lone wolf assassin. It looks to be very clear that this was a coordinated effort. There was planning that took place. There was chatter that took place beforehand about all of this. There was foreknowledge. And multiple people were involved. Before we get to the comments, I want to address one of the comments that I am seeing here in the chat, because I've seen this argument try to be made before. Another lover, you asked, or you stated that the videos are reversed. It's the same leg. I've seen this argument, and I want to ask you, let's pull this back up.
Right quadrant.
Yes, the videos are reversed. I understand what you're saying there. But when you look at the individual walking, we're just simply looking at right leg versus left leg here. We know by looking at an individual from the front and from the back, whether or not it's left leg and right leg. This isn't a mirror. We're not talking about what happens when you look into a mirror and things get reversed. This individual right here is keeping his right leg straight. His right leg. Think about where your right leg is walking down the stairs from this angle. Okay? Right leg straight.
Wearing different clothing, and he also is walking with a gait or a limp in this video.
Right leg straight. Right leg.
With a gait or what?
A limp.
Okay.
He is keeping his right leg straight. He turns there from multiple angles. Right leg is still straight.
And again, we're able to track Mr. Robinson when he leaves this parking.
Okay. This video angle is from above, by the way. It's from above, and we are just looking at a person, an individual from behind as he is walking away.
Structure.
Yes.
He is keeping his left leg straight. Simply just looking at the person, a person from behind.
We were able to.
Okay.
His left leg is staying straight. This isn't a reversal of some angle. It's literally just looking at a person and looking at which leg he is keeping straight as he is limping away. It's right leg versus left leg. He is at first keeping his right leg straight. And the argument is that he has that rifle in that right leg. You see people online talking about how you can see the outline of the rifle in it. And then in that image walking away, he is limping away with his left leg remaining straight. Ricky, thank you for gifting a Zach Costello membership. Very much appreciated. Miss Emma, some love from Ireland. Please keep my son Isaac in your prayers. He's autistic and was rushed to the hospital for choking. I believe God can heal. I will absolutely keep Isaac in my prayers. I hope that he's okay. I hope that he's okay. Yeah, I mean, as a father, choking is something that you fear. So I hate to hear that. I really hope that he's okay. I will certainly keep Isaac in my prayers. And I hope that it is God's will that he is healed. Jeffrey, thank you for gifting a Zach Costello membership. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thanks for that support. What about Victor Mark's security team? Now Shapiro's too. This is ridiculous. We know that Victor Marks came out and said that he knows members of Charlie's security team and he was potentially in contact with them very shortly after the assassination as well. Yeah, so I've also seen other people online come out and say that Charlie Kirk's security team was in contact with them as well. It wasn't just Ben Shapiro's security team. So it's just interesting to hear these phone calls were going out and being made from the SUV, from the vehicle, to different parties, different security teams. It's weird. It's just kind of strange. That wasn't the priority. I mean, that's not the priority right there. Not at all. Not at all. Did they get the plate number to ensure it was Tyler's car? I'm not 100% sure about that. I believe what Agent Hall said is that I think they were able to run the plates, and then I think they connected it with his driver's license, which would have the registration of that car on it. So I believe that is how they connected Tyler Robinson to that Dodge Challenger. I think he actually says it here at the beginning of this UVU footage video. We'll bring that back up. We can listen to that.
Let's go ahead and put it on all screens. No, I appreciate it. Is so it is admitted and may be published to the screens. And just want to make sure it's on your screen, Agent.
I believe Agent Hull says this right at the beginning here when talking about this vehicle, because I think he's asked, like, oh, you say this car is Tyler Robinson's, and then how? And I think he says it right here, if I remember correctly.
All right. Mr. Sturgill, you may proceed.
Appreciate that, Judge. Thank you. Go ahead. Okay, what are we seeing here, Agent Hall?
That's the vehicle that is believed to belong to Mr. Robinson arriving in the parking garage on campus.
At what time in the morning? What time of the day?
It's approximately 8:30 in the morning on September 10th, 2025.
And what leads you to believe that this particular vehicle belongs to Mr. Robinson?
Information that was provided regards to driver's license and Department of Motor Vehicle records. The vehicle fits the description of a vehicle owned by Mr. Robinson.
Is there anything unique about that vehicle that stands out to you?
The shape of the vehicle is very distinct, but predominantly the wheels were very distinctive on this version of the vehicle.
Okay, so there you go. That's how he found it. DMV records, driver's license, has a vehicle that fits the description of one that Tyler Robinson drove. Okay. That's how they found it. Or that's how they're allegedly connecting it to Tyler Robinson. Friends with Matt became a channel member. Good to see you, Matt. I saw you on Trigger Smart yesterday. This is the guy, everybody, who put in the Trigger Smart chat that I was the number one best looking podcaster in the game. Look, Matt put it in there, and it seems as though Matt is Matt's funny, it seems like. So I think it was somewhat of a joke, but it just became a thing on the Trigger Smart live stream yesterday, talking about, I don't know, the rankings of good looking podcasters. I don't know. Like, Matt, I don't know if you were trolling me, or if you, I don't know if you really think I'm ugly, or if, I don't know. But anyway, it was funny. It created a whole conversation as far as like rankings and stuff. It was funny. But Matt, thanks for being here. Thanks for the support. Thanks for becoming a member. It's great to have you here. Appreciate you. Hi, Zach. On air already. Did you fall out of bed today? LL. Yes, guys, it's early. It's early for me to be doing the live stream. Missed the first 40 minutes, but we'll watch the replay. I know the Tyler Robinson coverage here starts. I think Trigger Smart's got his live stream coming on. I think he scheduled it for 2:30. So I was like, and I got an earlier evening tonight with some kids stuff. So I was like, I got to go earlier today. So went earlier than usual. But so yes, fell out of bed and looked at the stuff and just got up here and started talking. Right. But I went on early today, and that's why. I got a lot of good info. I really enjoyed the Trigger Smart stream, the live stream yesterday. He had a really good panel on. It really helped me prepare for my show as I watched that. You guys all know, actually, I used screen records from Trigger Smarts from Matt's stream that I shared here. I think you guys actually heard them talking here at some point yesterday during the live show, but I enjoyed it, and I want to be able to pay attention to the coverage today and tune into that. So I also wanted to get my show done earlier. I don't give a Dom. Good to see you. Car Girly here. That's the same Dodge Challenger body style, very distinct front end. I don't give a Dom. Are you talking about the vehicle that pulls up behind the individual walking up the stairs? Is that the same Dodge Challenger that you're talking about right there? Very distinct front end. You see slightly the front end in that image. Let's pull it up again.
Now what do we see?
I don't give a Dom. Are you talking about this moment here? You're talking about this moment right there. Is that what you're talking about? That is I'll see if I can find you in the chat. Is that the one you're talking about right here? Yeah, I see. You said yes. Yeah, so what I don't give a Dom is saying here is that right there is the same Dodge Challenger, same body style, very distinct front end here that this individual is turning around and looking at. I mean, that is, shoot, if that is the Dodge Challenger, I mean, holy moly, you guys. Holy moly. And then, yeah, I see you. I don't give a Dom. You can see the shine on it. I mean, yeah, we can zoom in on it and all that. I mean, that'd be pretty crazy. And that's crazy. That's crazy. And then, you go back to this part of it here too. Look, he's here. He's stalling. We got white SUV. He's on his phone. He's stalling. He limps down the stairwell, or he limps down the tunnel here, and then boom.
Or what?
Limp.
Okay.
He turns there. He turns there to look into the garage. Actually, look at this. You guys see that kind of light highlight that goes over it?
Or what?
Limp.
Okay.
Right there. Right there. You see that? There's car lights. There's car lights. There's a car coming near him.
Walking with a gait or a limp in this video.
With a gate or what?
Limp.
Okay.
Boom. Car lights right there. You see the shine off the other cars? There's shine off the other car. There's shine off the other cars. There's a car pulling up, and then he pauses right here, walks up the stairs.
Now what do we see?
Car pulls behind him.
This is Mr. Rob.
Car pulls behind him. He turns around to make contact with it. Man. And if that's the Dodge Challenger, holy crap. Thanks. I don't give a Dom. Good to have you here. Always appreciate your input. Again, they have garage floor footage from other arrivals' departures. Why was it left out when the Challenger drives/pulls in to park behind the suspect? That's a great question. That is a great question. I don't know. We see there are edits out, there are clips out in this footage that was submitted as evidence. And we see, again, it's edited. It's edited. It's selective evidence. This isn't raw. This isn't raw. They made changes and edits to it. Friends with Matt. What's up, man? Jay at RKS killed Charlie Kirk. A G-Hark is what you call a juice box that hates non-juice boxes. A G-Hark. That's the first time I've heard that term. Is a juice box that hates non-juice boxes. Yeah. Good to know. Thanks, Matt. Replay, car behind, and wheels shine slightly to confirm. Yeah, I think I think you left this. I don't give a Dom. I think I did replay it, and I think that everybody could see exactly what you're talking about there. So thank you for that, and thanks for that solid input there. Thank you. All of this is great info. As we thinking Americans know, the truth problem is the big club we are not in. It did it and don't care. Yeah, we done it. What you gonna do about it is the attitude. Yeah, I mean, I said this. I've been saying this all along. It's like they operate on a different playing field than the rest of us. It's an elitist class versus an everyday working class problem here. And they live by different rules. And they live by different rules that get them richer and powerful off of the backs of the everyday people. And they don't care. They don't care. They're going to do what they're going to do. And they're going to say, you guys are going to sit here and take it, and we're going to lie to you. It's like that Alexander Solzhenitsyn quote. Alexander Solzhenitsyn, it's like, they were lying. We knew they were lying. They knew we knew they were lying, and they lied anyway. Alexander Solzhenitsyn is an individual who was put in the Gulag. He wrote the book Gulag Archipelago. They were lying. We knew they were lying. They knew we knew they were lying, and they lied anyway. This is not the first time this has occurred throughout history. History repeats itself. This happens time and time again. So yeah, I totally agree that that's their attitude. Zach, look at the staircase when he starts the left leg. The stairs go opposite direction. It is reversed. Guys, what we're seeing here, I'll bring it back up. I'll bring it back up.
Stairs of the parking structure.
He's walking up the stairwell here, and then this caption, there's another camera sitting at the top end of this stairwell. And also I'm looking at the left leg of the individual walking. We have an individual walking away from us here. We have an individual walking away from us with his left leg being kept straight. I'm looking at the person.
He leaves this parking structure.
Yes, we were able to.
It looks to be like there's another camera at the top of another stairwell. And he's walking away with his left leg straight. Thank you for becoming a member. LSU Nick, thanks for becoming a member of the show. G Harks. This does not apply to all. It only applies to evil ones. They keep censoring me. I need new words. Well, be careful, Matt. Be careful. I've been trying to. I've been working on what? Not behaving myself, but not saying things with regard to different words or keywords that are gonna get me in trouble as far as YouTube goes. So, we can talk about certain things, but I want to be careful with regard to some of the words that we use. Coach Colin has kind of taught me a little bit about some of the keywords that we can use as far as all that goes. So, they keep censoring you. Well, then you be careful. You be careful, and you don't make me read some of these words that are going to get me in trouble. How about that? In all videos, there's a white patch at the bottom right of blue bag, except looking down level 2 stairs. It's on the left. Same cam as left leg limping. While patch is reverse, why wouldn't his leg be? Yeah. I mean, the problem is that I don't have it pulled up here to where I can zoom in on the backpack there as far as that goes. So I can't zoom in on the backpack from that top view with the clip that I have here to verify what you're saying. The white patch is reversed. I mean, I can see if we can see it here. But again, I don't think I can't zoom in on this. I mean, there's no way that I can. I mean, unless you guys can see it. Can you see the white patch there? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, again, if I'm wrong, if this is a reverse camera and he's not limping with his left leg and it's not switched, then fine. Then fine. But I mean, again, it's an irregularity that we should flag and call out. It still doesn't negate the fact that this individual right here is not working in coordination with other people that were there that day. You need to look at the exit frequencies second last video. He remote viewed Tyler Robinson. You need to look at the exit frequencies second last video. He remote viewed Tyler Robinson. Is exit frequency a YouTuber? I don't know who exit frequency is. Is exit frequency a YouTuber? Can you guys let me know in the chat? Is exit frequency a YouTuber? Let me know. Let me know. I haven't heard of that. I can check it out. He remote viewed Tyler Robinson. All right. Looks like I got somebody saying yes. All right. So I'll check out exit frequency. He remote viewed Tyler Robinson. That's interesting. I'll check that out. I don't know, like where would he have remote viewed Tyler Robinson? I don't doubt. I mean, again, as I've said, looks like Tyler Robinson was involved. It looks like he was on campus. So that's interesting. I mean, I'll check it out. As he's stalking at the stairs, the white SUV and the gray SUV pass him again. As he's stalking at the stairs, the white SUV and the gray SUV pass him again. As he's stalking at the stairs.
Yes, we were able to.
Back up.
Okay. So,
I mean, again, this is where you have the white SUV and the initial white SUV and the initial gray SUV that go past him. So this is the white SUV going past right there with the black rims, blacked out tires. It skips, SUV disappears, and then you've got this one coming by, and then he goes down. I mean, it could be that second SUV right there, that gray SUV, is also communicating something to him. And I think it could be a timing thing. It could be communicating the timing of all of this. And it could be in coordination with, like, for example, Hunter Kozak asking the question. And that's why I think that's why I feel like comms were involved in all of this, because then you've got the 1223 mark here, and then you've got this SUV coming back in as he's getting off the roof. So they all had an idea of what timing was going on here. And this, to me, suggests that there's communication taking place in some way. So is that what you mean as far as the as far as that goes. The stalking at the stairs and the white SUV and the gray SUV passing him. I wonder what a Lee Harvey Oswald trial would look like. That's interesting that you say that, because I think I've heard Baron Coleman has talked a lot about this. Like, Tyler Robinson wasn't supposed to live. That's what he said before. Like, Tyler Robinson was supposed to die in a shootout with police, and then we wouldn't have, we wouldn't be here right now. We wouldn't have a trial. We wouldn't be talking about all of this stuff. I mean, Lee Harvey Oswald was obviously killed by Jack Ruby. And he said he was a patsy. So, yeah, I mean, probably a Lee Harvey Oswald trial, I don't know, may look similar to this. I mean, obviously there's more technology nowadays. Were people as skeptical of the government back then as they are now? Were people as skeptical of their institutions as they are now? I don't know. I feel like people just kind of took what, the authorities and what the government was telling them at the time. Like, they just kind of took it more. And we're a generation that's gone through COVID. So we don't just take what our authorities and the government tells us anymore. So yeah, the old-fashioned way of doing things isn't going to work in this new day and age. And I think that's what's being found out right now. You can't dupe us. You can't dupe us. And I think that's a good thing. How has no one noticed the kids on day 2 said to the police they noticed the shooter? He was Overwatch. Overwatch is a Discord group. It's at 2:23. The officer said Overwatch was police. I don't know. I need to look into what you're talking about here. Maroon shirts. Yeah, so the maroon shirts, I mean, obviously the Candace Owens has brought up the maroon shirts. It's funny. It's funny. I'm seeing these videos here. We just went through everything that we just went through in this show, talking about coordination taking place amongst multiple individuals that day at UVU. Like, I am convinced that Tyler Robinson did not act alone. I think that this is clear. I think that I've made it clear here in this video that this involves more than just one lone person. One of the things I've been very skeptical of is, like, more and more parties being involved, though, because, like, the bigger it is, the more likely there's going to be a whistleblower, the more likely that something's going to leak out. So when I first see something like the maroon shirts, like, being all dispersed through the crowd, like, my first thought is like, well, that's more and more people, like, and that makes it less likely. At least that's an assumption. But I guess what I'm seeing now is, like, it's causing me to question that assumption. And, like, if Tyler Robinson was wearing a maroon shirt, especially early on in the day, and multiple other people were wearing maroon shirts throughout the crowd, like, is there a reason for that? And what would that reason be? Like, are they trying to make it harder for us to identify Tyler Robinson or the individuals involved? Like, I don't know. This is getting weird. Love you, Zach. We are in a linguistic war. Let's win. I would love to win that war, Matt. I'd love to win that war, and I hope that we do, so that we don't have to worry about these types of things. And I've said that multiple times here on this channel. Walking up the stairs, he keeps his right leg straight. Walking away, he keeps his left leg straight. Yeah, I think that's and that's one of the observations that we've been making here, and that we've been kind of going back and forth over. Some people claim that the camera is reversed, and that's why. Other people are saying, and that my initial assumption was looking at it, that it was a view from behind. I'm just looking at the individual. So, yeah, I don't know. Here we go. Just look at the staircase. The second vid should have the up on the right. The second vid should have the up on the right. All right. I think we just got to table this one for now. I got to get through these comments, and I gotta kill it. I was only going to go till 2:30, but we'll keep it open minded. We'll keep it open minded. He could be limping with the other leg. Staircase could be reversed. Candace Owens said maroon shirts were feds. Tyler had one on. Yeah, I just kind of talked a little bit about the maroon shirts and what that means. Yep. I mean, there's something to keep in mind now. All right. So he's a YouTuber. He talks how Tyler is MK Ultra'd. Okay. Interesting. I'll take a look at that. Thanks for that. Let me make a note. Okay. We'll take a look. Thanks for that clarification. Looks like the white car nearly has an accident after the shooting. Pulling out of the parking lot. Bring that up one more time. We can take a look at that. We had it right here. Yeah, so this is the car pulling back in. Let's watch it. Comes back around as the individual's jumping off the roof. Nah. You know what I'm just noticing here? It doesn't take, this parking lot's not big. It doesn't take this car that long. Guys, it does not take this car that long to come around that curve. It disappears here. Do they have this video paused? Are they pausing this in the courtroom? No. It's moving. They pause it for a brief moment. Okay, they pause it here at 12:23. No, it's not paused. It's still ticking. No, it's not paused. Oh my gosh, you guys, look. Look. You can see the car stops. Oh my gosh. The car is stopped. See the back of the car's shadow? The car is stopped. It's sitting there. Oh, and then he jumps off the roof and the car meets up with him. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. The car stops. It stops right there. It's waiting. Stop. All right. And then it pulls out and meets up with the guy and then almost gets in an accident. All right. Look, this car's involved. It's involved. All right, I see some of you guys in the chat. Barron already covered it. Fine. Well, first time I'm seeing it. I missed that Barron show. I mean, if he covered that white SUV stops right there and then meets up with the guy. All right. Okay, Barron gets credit. Give Barron the credit. Fine. I mean, I don't care. What, like that's clear right there that car waits for the individual to jump off the roof and then meets up with them. All right. Okay. Point made for the entire video here, guys. The cars were working in coordination with this individual. Boom. There we go. Check. Okay. Now take that in coordination with all of the rest of the car stuff that I just shared with you here. All right. Well, there we go. I think that's a good one to end on. And that's going to be it for the show. Looking forward to the continuation of this trial here. We'll pay attention. We'll see if anything else comes out so we can cover it here tomorrow. And then tomorrow, I'm also going to have Brandy on. We're going to do a nighttime show. We're going to do a show at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, which would be 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And looking forward to that. So Brandy Siciliani was able to get into the courtroom, I believe, today. So she should have some good updates for us with regard to this entire case. But looking forward to that, and I will plan to see you guys tomorrow. I'm Zach Costello.